and welcome to your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases for Forge World and Games Workshop. Welcome to all of you new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching the videos every single week, leaving the likes and the comments. It really helps the channel out. If you want to help the channel out further, I do have a Patreon if you want to donate like $1 a month or something like that. However, if you also want to just buy all of your miniatures at 15 to 25% off, please do use the channel's affiliate link in the description below, and that tells Element Games that I've sort of told you about them. And they ship all around the world. Let's jump on over to the news straight away. If we go from like a week ago, the 24th of August, we had a look at the pre-orders. That was the Kill Team box set, the Escalation Blackstone and some Lord of the Rings stuff. The day after, they then previewed this Aeronutica Imperialis box set. I can tell you it's £55. I think you can get it cheap for like £40 or so. It includes 9 aircraft, some dice, rulebook, and obviously an area of engagement. They're the aircraft in there, and there's some more, and there's some more. And there's the fighters and bombers. So really this like little preview looked at everything that was going to come out for it, even these like ground assets, which are pretty cool, and the cards and their dice. Really, really nice, lovely looking dice there. So that's the big pre-order this week, and we'll have a look at the box set and things later on. Nova Open incoming preview, lots of things were previewed there, and we'll go through them in a moment. There was an unboxing of the Aeronautica. Armies of a Parade Chaos Knights. So look at the Aeronatica Imperialis, the models. It'd be great to see some more flyers in there other than just Imperial Navy and Orcs. Hopefully we'll get to see Eldar, maybe even Dark Eldar, maybe Chaos as well, and Tau. That would be great if it encompassed lots of different races and things. A new season of horror approaches, regimental kill standard, breaking news, sisters, psychers and skeletons. So this was the main news that I wanted to cover. So over the Nova Open, the Warhammer preview, they looked at this Psychic Awakening, which is one of the biggest campaign things that they're gonna, biggest monumental event that they're gonna do, including all new rules for all the codexes and stuff for all of the armies. It looks like, and there's going to be some excellent models, including this plastic aspect warrior. Wow, hell has frozen over. It really has. I'm so looking forward to plastic aspect warriors. I do have a large Eldar army, and I've got the metal models. I painted them, absolutely stunning, but to get some more like this is just going to be brilliant. I'm looking forward to all the Phoenix Lords as well, if they're going to redo them. Hopefully they will. However, unfortunately, Primaris had to get in here somewhere, and it's taken the form of Shrike. Unfortunately, Shrike has had a massive makeover and is now, well, there's just too much going on in my opinion. You've got lightning claws, you've got this pistol thing, you've got feathers, you've got grenades, you've got the weird shape, the weird design for the head, you've got the different jump pack, the different legs, and then on top of all that, he is literally on top of like a broken down bunker as well. It's really, really odd. I'm not a fan. Some models, when you look, you just, the first time you think, yeah, that might grow on me. I don't think this one will, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the leader of the Raven Guard. Then moving down, had a bit of a look at the Middle Earth and some more new models for plastic, and then Warcry. You've now got monsters and mercenaries in for Warcry, which is good that they're expanding that. Then we had a look at these awesome looking Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Basically a culmination of centuries of planning by Nagash and the harbingers of his dark regimes. They are the shock troops. They look awesome. I really like these ones as well. They just kind of look like Bone Samurai. They look friggin' awesome. Look at that guy. And then these, at first look I thought, oh, 4 arms, that's got to be new Tyranid warriors. Nope. These big skeleton samurai with like 4 heads or whatever. In one, and this amazing siege weapon looks incredible. Got the little legs, it looks like some kind of ribcage thing, this big claw guys on it, just refueling it or whatever, and then this ridiculous model here, Katakros, just looks like some kind of uber samurai. Look at these stooges next to him as well. I mean, wow, that would be so cool if you could have him for 40k, but no, Age of Sigmar. But yeah, some of the Age of Sigmar armies, are really tempted me to get into Age of Sigmar. Anyway, then you've got the Warhammer Heroes, so you can nominate your hero. And then there's a bit of an article surrounding Warhammer Legends. Encompasses using your old models. They're going to be releasing rules. It looks like they're going to release rules every year, but it's not going to be in codexes. It allows you to still use your old models, which is pretty good. There's a look at the Angels of Death animated series, collaboration with Jez Goodwin as well. And then finally, we finally got a look at the Sisters of Battle, Adeptus Sororitas. You've got this box set here, which includes the codex and 25 minutes. Set will save you some money, much like the start collecting sets. But I'm not sure. I think it'll just be a convenience set, rather than buying the models separately. You're just going to have, a box set with these, but it's still going to be pretty cool. And I'm really, really happy with the way that the models have turned out. I can sort of zoom in properly. They look pretty good. The Seraphim looks good. The Penitent Engine looks awesome, and the Canoness looks pretty good too. So really, really happy with Sisters of Battle. Finally, we get some more previews of them. Looking forward to the vehicles like the Exorcist and things like that. So they're really, really coming together. I think later on in the video, I do ask you guys to give me an opinion on whether I should buy the new Custodes flyer, the Ares gunship, or whether I should just sink all the money into these brand new Sisters of Battle. I'm leaning more towards the Sisters of Battle. They're new, they're unique, there'll be lots of content for them, whereas the Ares will just be an unboxing and a review and probably a showcase with the rest of the Custodes models, whereas at least these, it'll be new content. I'll try and do content every day again from now on. Anyway, that was a big look preview at the Nova Open. They had more articles about Aeronutica throughout the week, one about Blackstone Fortress, around the community, the Spirits of Middle-earth, and then a look at the new models up for pre-order for Forge World, which includes that Ares gunship. Looks pretty good. And then you can download the data sheets. They've all been updated. You've got the Ares on there as well, and they're now official. They're not in the beta stage or anything like that. You can download them straight away. And then there was some made-to-order Defenders of Lake Town. Let's jump on over to Forge World and have a look at those pre-orders. And if we jump on over to Forge World, the first page, you've got made-to-order Defenders of the Lake Town. So Forge World are doing made-to-order models. Then you've got the big pre-order for this week, which is the Legio Custodes Ares gunship for the Horus Heresy. And that's it, that's just those two. So if we click on New and we go to pre-orders, so there you go. Let's have a look at these Defenders of the Lake Town. Bard, Legolas and Toriel. £26 for the three. So a bit more than £8 each, which is alright. They look quite decent. So they're made to order for that. And then this is the main pre-order. Now, it would be cool if I could get your opinions in the comments below. I really want this model for the Custodian Guard Army, for my Legio Custodes, because I've got the Orion dropship, and this would be kind of the only model I don't have for Custodes. But do I get this model, or do I use that £289 to buy all of the Sisters of Battle releases? Please put it in the comments below. It'd be great to see your opinions on that. It'll typically be one or the other, even though Sisters are coming out in November. Anyway, this thing looks alright. It shares a lot of aesthetic cues from the Orion dropship with the large nacelles. I'm not sure the large nacelles are needed, but yeah, apparently they are for this super heavy flyer. You've got the exhausts there. You've got the weapon. That looks like it's on a bit of a wonk though. Maybe you can move it slightly. You've got the blaze cannons there and the Magna blaze cannon. It can't transport any Custodes. They had a bit of a wonk there, I think. You can't transport any Custodes in it, so you're mainly buying it for this super fast, super heavy weapons platform in the form of this big Magna Blaze Cannon. The rear of the ship is quite funky. If you look there, I think all of that apparatus, of which there's quite large gaps. Don't know whether that's for cooling, but you'd think that cooling in like the 31st millennium is pretty efficient, but there are big gaps there. I don't know whether it would be better if it was all enclosed. I mean, surely their cooling systems are much more efficient than having it open to, you know, the elements, and also that is very, very vulnerable for attacks from the rear, which is a possibility, you know, with missiles or laser strikes or whatever. So I do question the design on the rear there, but maybe these two couplings fire something into the middle there and then it dissipates it. I'm not really hugely sure, and also that's huge, this big old reserve thing compared to the front of the weapon. Maybe the front of the weapon isn't anything to do with this, and this is just the bombs, the big fire bombs, but then again, if you look there, it's got something underneath, and I'm pretty sure they're the bombs rather than this this bit here. But there we go. Seen as there's two on the fuselage, but actually there looks to be a bit more than two there. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. £289, it's exactly the same price as the Orion dropship, but you are getting it for this huge weapon. The rules are now here. They're not the beta rules or anything like that. They are proper rules now to use all of your Forge World Custodes units in the 41st millennium. So you've got a Custodian guy with Androsite and Pyrothite spears. I will be going through all of these units and doing full reviews again now that these rules have properly come out. So stay tuned to the channel for that. I'll try and get them out before Sisters drop. You've got Sagittarum Custodians, Aquilon, Contemptor Galatis Dreadnought, Contemptor Achilles Dreadnought, Agamatus Custodians, Venatari Custodians, Pallas Grav Tank, Caladius Grav Tank, Telemon Heavy Dreadnought, Coronis Grav Carrier, Orion Assault Dropship, and the Ares Gunship. Now this is what's just been released. Same stat line as the Orion Dropship, but it's equipped with two Arachnus Heavy Blaze Cannons, and each one of these is pretty horrific. It's a 48-inch range weapon, strength 9, AP -4, and a damage 3 +3, and against vehicles you can reroll wounds. I'm not sure why you would go for the burst, because the burst reduces the range by 12 inches, only gives you 3 more extra shots, but has a much worse strength and AP and hardly any damage. So I'd go for the longer range one shot that does way more damage. And it's a similar story with the Magna Blaze Cannon, that has a whopping 72-inch range, heavy D3, strength 14, AP -4, and a damage D3 +6. Now, it's not as good as like a volcano cannon from a Shadow Sword. Just to put that in perspective, you know, that Shadow Sword has a much better range, but what you're paying for here is something that can't be, you know, models can't be deep strike next to it and blow it up. It's hard to hit and to take down anyway, and this weapon is almost as good as that volcano cannon in terms of strength and damage output. This thing has a 3+ normal save, but it has a 5+ invulnerable. It doesn't suffer any penalty for all those heavy weapons. You've got to subtract 1 from the hit roll. It's also got supersonic, hover jet, and then it's on top of those two main weapons, it's got this Infernus Firebomb, and you roll a d6 for each model in a unit, and it's a 50-50 chance that that model gets a mortal wound, and you can drop those firebombs twice per battle, and it's across every unit that it flies across, you know, and its movement is, well, 50 inches. It's also airborne as well, so yeah, you can't really get in close combat except for models that can fly. So it's pretty good as a very fast mobile weapons platform. If you're Custodes is lacking some serious anti-tank or anti-titan or anti-knight firepower, then bringing one of these is going to be brilliant. Instead of bringing the Orion, you could bring the Coronis, or you could even just deep strike a lot of your Custodes in. So I think it does have its usefulness on the battlefield. It's nice to have a big, super heavy vehicle that does a hell of a lot of damage from range and is mobile. Custodes were lacking that. They're a very, very elite force and did a lot of damage in close combat, really, and were pretty tough and resilient. But now they've got this heavy weapon in their arsenal. So that's everything in Forge World. Let's jump on over to Games Workshop. Here it is, first big advert preview of Aeronutica Imperialis. The whole page is full of it, even how to play. There's a couple of more articles here that link to the community website, and then there's pictures of the miniature and some more icons. So this is the big push for Aeronutica Imperialis. If we could just click on new as an exclusive, and we click on pre-orders, there's 32 pre-orders apparently with view, and here we go. So you've got this Rins World Air War Collection, £257.50, pretty expensive, but you get the campaign book, area of engagement, Imperialis order tokens, Imperial and Orc ground assets, Marauder bombers, destroyers, Thunderbolt fighters, dice set, aircraft, navy cards, the Orc Air War Dakar jets, the fighter bombers, and the flyboys dice, and the aircraft Naces Orc Air War. So you get everything you possibly need in here for £257. There's the campaign book for Rins World. Pretty cool. So then you've got Blackstone Fortress's story so far. I think this was up for pre-order last week. It just contains the main game, the two little expansions, and then the main expansion for £232.50. Imperial Navy, so you get the Wings of Vengeance box set, the Imperial Navy cards. I think you get some more bombers as well. You get 2 Marauder bombers normally, but then you get 1 Imperial Marauder bombers, and then 1 Imperial Navy Marauder destroyers. So you get two extra there, which I think is those 2. And then you get Thunderbolt fighters, where you get 2. Alright, so you get 2 destroyers and 2 bombers. So you actually should get 4 extra. Oh yeah, there they are. And then you get the dice set and the navy cards. So that's Imperial Focus, that's 156. And then on the flip side of that, you get the Orc War collection, which is cheaper, £131. And I take it includes more bombers and fighters. You've got the Kill Team starter set, which was out last week. You've got the Blood and Vengeance collection, £72.98, which includes the box game and a couple of novels. Escalation was last week, Magos and Eisenhorn was last week, so was Severina Rain, but this is the Wings of Vengeance, so £55 then for this box game. It looks like you get, let's see, 2 Thunderbolt fighters, 2 Marauder bombers, 3 Dakar jets, and 2 fighter bombers. So all in all, you're getting 9 aircraft here. They're the Orc ones, they look pretty decent. That's the Imperial ones. So 4 Imperial, 5 Orcs. Get some dice. Obviously you get that hexagonal area of engagement. You don't get any of the other coloured dice or any of the ground assets. So unlike Adeptus Titanicus, they've gone the opposite way with this. They've gone for a really cheap kind of starter set, £55. You could probably get that with a discount for about £40 at a third-party retailer. So that's not too bad, £40 to get you started, get you a full game. You get the Rins World area engagement, so that might be a little bit different. So £26. That's quite pricey, that one, but there we go. What do you actually get with that? 3x3 fold out card, it's double sided. There we go. So there that's a fold out card. You get Thunderbolt fighters for £25. the Dakar jets for 25. Marauder destroyers, which I've had a look, and you can't make the bombers with the destroyers. So then you've got the bombers as separate. You've got all the Imperial Naught ground assets for £25. That's pretty good if you want them for your Adeptus Titanicus battlefields. Then you've got the Orc Air War fighter bombers, the Rin's World campaign book for 22, e-publication, rites of passage, the Air War cards and the Navy Aces cards, the dice, £10 a set. And then a load of books, including Double Eagle by Dan Abnett, which I think I've got, and Wings of Blood, Terminal Overkill, some order tokens, ace markings, and crew cards. So that's pretty much everything up for pre-order for Games Workshop this week on Saturday the 31st of August. Tomorrow it is September, and hoping that the rest of the Space Marine stuff will be up for pre-order next weekend. What do you guys think of this Aeronutica Imperialis? Are you going to get it? Is it just one step away from epic 40k? We just need some tanks and infantry and troops now to round off the range. Please do put it in your comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.